In the previous example, we kept the dimensions in proportion for the view box. This doesn't have to be the case, however. We could have set it to 0, 0, 600, 100, keeping the height of the view box equal to that of the viewport while increasing the width. Let's take a look what would have happened if we did that. We can see that instead of moving the circle up, it now remains centered vertically. Well, it turns out that we have some control over what happens when the height and width values between the viewport and view box are not proportional. We can use the preserveAspectRatio attribute to alter the behavior. If we don't want to maintain the aspect ratio, we can set our preserveAspectRatio to none. This allows the graphic to be squeezed and stretched. Most of the time, this won't be the desired effect, but it's good to know about it in case it's needed. preserveAspectRatio has various parameters. All other than none will force the item to have a uniform scaling and will preserve the aspect ratio of the view box. There are two parameters passed to the preserveAspectRatio attribute. The first is a line in the form of x and y, and the other tells it to meet or slice, which essentially means that the view box should meet the edges of the viewport, much like CSS background size contain, or to slice off the extra, much like background size cover. Let's take a look at all of the possible align values. None, xmin, ymin, or left top, xmid, ymin, or middle top, xmax, ymin, or right top, xmin, ymid, or left middle, xmid, ymid, or middle middle, xmax, ymid, or right middle, xmin, ymax, or left bottom, xmid, ymax, or middle bottom, and xmax, ymax, or right bottom. Let's also take a look at the possible meet or slice values. There's meet, which will shrink the image so that all edges are contained within the viewport. And there's slice, which trims off the excess. The easiest way to understand how these values play together is through seeing them in action. Say, for example, we have this graphic. And let's say we have two different viewports, a tall skinny one and a short wide one. We can see that the graphic we have will not fit properly into either of the two viewports. So we'll use preserveAspectRatio to control how it displays. The meet items will look like this in the wide viewport, and like this in the skinny viewport. The slice items will look like this in the wide viewport, and like this in the skinny viewport. Next, let's explore some common SVG elements and familiarize ourselves with the different ways that they can be used.